you find your own way. Showgirl Tip of the day. All you gotta do is just Showgirl Tip of the day.
Hi, everyone. I am hoping that there we go. Yep. So we got Brian coming in.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for doing this, you sweetie pie.
Gosh, I'll do anything for you.
You're so kind. How's your life going?
Nuts. I'm just so insanely busy, but it's good. Like, life is good.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I'm in my new home with my sweet cat. I don't know if you can see him. Let me see. Can you see him?
Yes. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Just hanging out. My little cat just hanging out with me all the time. And, I've got some good jobs up here.
My mean
Go
cat.
to New York. Oh, Ellen's mean?
She's not nice.
Really?
Yeah. But it's okay. I still love her.
This cat is the sweetest little companion ever.
Oh.
So kind to me, so sweet. So let's get into it because I know you're busy.
Hey, it's all
and
good.
It's 3 hours behind. Okay, so Brian, welcome back to the Showgirl Tip of the Day podcast. How have you been?
I've been fabulous. Life is good. I'm writing again. I have been writing every day, 15 minutes. It's been great. Consistency. So that's a really good thing.
Love it. And the last time we spoke, you were working on a film.
Yes, I actually spoke to my producer last night. I have a producer, a director of photography. I'm meeting with my producer next week. Otherwise, it's, chipping away. I still plan to shoot it next year. So fingers.
I love that. So as I wind down 2022 already, I turned to you because you are the person that I know that really loves movies, and you review them quite often on your Facebook page. You tell us what's what. And, you've turned me on to a lot of great films I ordinarily wouldn't have seen. So what are a couple of movies that you really enjoyed in 2022? And if you would just give us, a little rundown of why you liked them and their titles so that maybe the listeners can watch a few good films.
I would love to. I have seen so many movies in the past 2 weeks. I think Thanksgiving weekend, I probably saw 12 movies, maybe more. So there was a crash course, so I'm ready to give it to you.
So how come you saw so many movies? Just because you like to see them, or it was when you had the time?
It's interesting. I'm part of a critics group. I belong to Gallica, which is the Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics. And they invite me all at once at the end of the year. So that's those are my opportunities to see the movies.
I like that. That.
It's an honor. I mean, anytime you get invited or get sent screeners, it's just a real gift.
I agree. I get the SAG screeners, and I should tell them don't send them to me because I don't play them on a DVD player, but I like getting them.
I know. I love them.
It makes me feel cool that SAG sends me stuff.
Awesome.
Okay, so tell us what's your fave?
So my favorite. So when you asked me to come on, I kind of narrowed it down to kind of like my 5 favorites, and then 2 like backups that I wanted to just tell people about. So I think my favorite film that I've seen so far is The Fabelmans by Steven Spielberg. I love that movie. So it just came out in limited release. So I'm not sure when this will come out. Hopefully it will be out for everyone soon. And it's based on Steven Spielberg's life. He has, of course, incorporated parts of his childhood into his films, like Close Encounters. But this one is truly, it is his life growing up with a very free mom a dad who considered filmmaking a hobby, never saw it as an actual career. I'm sure many of your listeners may have had parents who said something similar to them. And it's a beautiful story. It is a beautiful story. Any artist or filmmaker, actor, performer will just love this movie. It is so good.
How's Michelle Williams in it?
She, so far, gives my favorite performance of the year. There was a little controversy because she was being campaigned for supporting actress, and now they're campaigning her for lead, but she's in the whole film. I mean, she's in the whole film. She deserves it. She deserves to be considered for lead actress, and she's great. She's great.
Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
She now lives in the Brooklyn brownstone of my late great boss.
Wow.
So I had a boss who he lived a very long time, and he bought with his friends when they were young Broadway chorus boys. They bought a brownstone for nothing, and he was the last survivor, and he sold it before he passed, but it is now being inhabited by Michelle Williams. And is she married to the guy from Hamilton, the director, Thomas Kail? Because they got together. I don't know. I don't mean to gossip.
I was like, let me do a quick Google search.
Okay, so moving on. So what is your next film?
So when you said films you may not, that I've turned you on to, so what I thought of when you said that is a Belgian film called Close. It was the Grand Prix winner at Cannes, so basically second place at the Cannes Film Festival. It is about these two young boys, these 13-year-old boys who have this very intimate friendship. And when they go back to school, one of them is kind of bullied for being so intimate with their two male friends. And it changes their friendship, and it has drastic consequences. It is an incredible film, and I just want to make sure it's on everyone's radar to see. It's incredible. It's incredible. Heartbreaking, but incredible. Close. It's called Close.
Thank you.
Yes. And then I loved Nope. I don't know if you saw Nope. I think a lot of people may have seen Nope, Jordan Peele's film. So Jordan Peele, who won an Oscar for writing Get Out. This is his new film. And what I love about Jordan Peele is he is not afraid to take risks as a filmmaker. It is scary. It's funny. It's supernatural. It's a great movie. And I think everyone will get something good out of Nope. So Nope. Everyone check out Nope.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a fan of his work and the creativity, and it makes me want to write movies and do them, but it's inspiring when someone is on this trajectory of creating this body of work, which I feel he is.
Absolutely. He's a modern auteur. I mean, he really is. So I can't wait to see what he keeps doing. I love it. So my next on the list is The Banshees of Inisherin. Have you heard of this movie? The Banshees?
Yes, I have.
Martin McDonagh. It's with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. And you know what's funny? Because it's Close is about these two 13-year-old boys whose friendship basically ends. The Banshees of Inisherin is similar, like it's two older, well, Brendan Gleeson's older, Colin Farrell, the end of their friendship. And it is surreal. It's funny. And Colin Farrell has never been better. I think he might get nominated for an Oscar for this. It's very good. Very good film.
I haven't seen him in so long. So good.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, you just think about Colin Farrell from back in the day. He was this heartthrob, and he's still a heartthrob, just in a more, I guess, what's the proper word? I don't know.
Seasoned, mature.
Seasoned. That's the word I was trying to think
but
of.
he's a beautiful man. Come on.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay, so what's next on your list?
So next is a movie I just saw last night. It's called Funny Pages. So it's a movie that I don't know a lot of people have heard of, and it is directed by Owen Klein. People may know Owen Klein. He is the child of Phoebe Cates and Kevin Kline, and he had a bit of a career as an actor, but he directed Funny Pages, and I'm telling you, wrote and directed it. It is one of the best directorial debuts I have seen. It's hilarious. It's by A24 has released it. And the lead actor, I have to look up his name, Daniel Zolgadri. He is incredible. He was nominated for an Indie Spirit Award, and he carries the movie. And I think it's probably available to stream at this point. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So that's one of my favorite films of the year for sure. One of my top 5 for sure.
Thank you. You're giving us the goods.
Yeah, well, I wanted to give you some things that people may not have heard of or thought of, but so my 2 backups that I just wanted to kind of like encourage people to see. One is Bros. Have you heard of Bros?
I have, yeah. I think, was it filmed in New York? I think a lot of Broadway people are in it. And
Broadway people are in it. So Billy Eichner wrote it. It was directed by oh my goodness, like Nicholas Stoller, very well known for directing rom-coms. Luke McFarlane is in it. It's, they advertised it as the first like studio rom-com with gay leads. And it didn't do very well at the box office. And I'm just as guilty. I didn't go see it when it was originally playing. And I watched it a few days ago and I loved it so much. I mean, for people who like grew up on movies like Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail, like I loved those movies. And yet we always, as queer people, you kind of have to like project yourself onto those characters. Bros is sexy. It's not like shying away from gay stuff, right? But there are so many sweet, wonderful moments. Billy Eichner has this monologue. I was just talking about it with a friend that I related to in a way that I have not related to a character on screen, maybe ever. Oh, sorry. I had a little ding. That was what's next on the list.
It's okay. And I won't keep you either. I know your schedule is tight. And I appreciate you fitting this Showgirl Tip of the Day podcast in because we love you. I want to make you like the film consultant, the film person.
I would be honored. I would be honored.
Amazing.
And then the last thing I just wanted to mention is Babylon. I think probably your listeners are quite familiar with Damien Chazelle, who directed La La Land, First Man, Whiplash. So Babylon is interesting. So I got invited to a screening of Babylon at Paramount Studios a few days ago. It's being screened for critics and guilds. However, there is a strict review embargo, which is very unusual. We can have social reaction, but no review embargo. An embargo isn't unusual, but it's until further notice is what it says. And there's very little I can actually say about it probably, but I'm going to say this. It's going to be polarizing. I think people are going to hate it or love it. And I think I can get away by saying that it was 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Oy, oy, oy.
However, I was riveted from start to finish and had a blast. I will say. Who's
the star?
Margot Robbie is the star.
That's right.
Yes.
I've seen some stills.
She's great. Yeah. And I think there's a party. Like, I think we do like Showgirl Tip of the Day. I mean, it's very like the opening scene, which is 40 minutes, is this wild Hollywood party that is full of debauchery and fun and dance and song and elephants and drugs. It's just insane. But
wait, are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to tell me that?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's not a review. I'm just kind of like telling you. That's all in the trailers.
That's so weird. Like, how can they say you can watch this, but you can't review it? Like, did you sign something that said I wouldn't review it? Like, no. How can they stop you?
Well, they can't stop me. However, they can not invite me to their next screening. So that's what they can do. And I can talk about like the audience. So the audience was full of well-known actors, writers, Academy members. And I was like smiling and laughing. And at the end, people were either cheering or they were scowling. They got up, left the theater right away. I can't wait to see how it's reviewed, but I can't review it, but I can say I had a good time.
Wow.
Babylon.
Yeah, you are. So you're reporting from Hollywood. You're really out there. And do you find that you like living out there because of the way you love film so much?
Yes. I mean, I have been visiting New York. I think I went to New York 4 times last year. I lived in New York.
Thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness. And we will see each other next time. But something about, I live really close to Hollywood. I love Los Angeles. Everyone, like Hollywood runs through the veins of this city. I don't know how to explain it any other way. And so I love that. I need that for inspiration. That's part of the reason I moved back to LA. Yeah, it's great. I mean, otherwise, I could go to screenings in New York, of course, but there was something about that screening on the Paramount lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where they filmed it. I mean, they filmed part of the movie on the lot where I was watching the movie. And that's something you can't get anywhere else quite like that.
I'm happy for you. So when you have more time in your schedule, let's chat friend to friend. But until then, I will gratefully thank you for doing this and just tell you how much I admire you and so proud of you. You've been such a support during my crazy year. I don't go into it on the Showgirl Tip of the Day podcast, but this has been a very big changing year for me. And you've been just so supportive and kind and lovely, as you always are. And, every time I just want to crack a beer or open a bottle of wine, I'm like, do you really need this? And then I say, no, you don't. You don't really need it.
I love that. You
don't need it.
Now I
just drink some water.
I need to start thinking about that with shopping next. Do I really need that? That's my new area of improvement.
Brian, I'll talk to you real soon, okay? Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
You have a good night.
Thanks.
The Showgirl Tip of the Day podcast has original music composed by Joshua Holloway. Find him on YouTube, Joshua Holloway Music. This podcast is written by Michelle Bruckner and edited by Michelle Bruckner and Joshua Holloway. Find me on Instagram, Showgirl Tip of Day. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week with a new episode.